Good afternoon. It's Sunday. I'm feeling much better, so we're gonna do another video. Welcome to Mentally Unstable Makeup. I am your host, Unstable Toni. This is the place where you get to watch me amateurly put on makeup, and be ridiculously excited about all the money I've spent on makeup. But while I was down and sick, I got several things in the mail, and so I'm super, super excited. If you watched my video yesterday, I got the capsule 2 from Sugarpill, and I did a look with it. But today, now I'd heard that this was like Shroud Cosmetics at one time, and then they changed their name, rebranded, relogo. I don't know. I know that this speaks to me on so many levels with this grungy type of color story. I love grunge makeup. My crown is giving me issues. Hang on. I love a good grungy look. I do some pastels and stuff too, but for the most part, I love me a grungy look. And I've watched some videos and seen some swatches and stuff of this, and I'm super excited. So, I'm just going to dig in. I'm going to do, if you can't tell, I'm going to do a blue look today. I don't know why, but blue has really just captured me in the last little bit. Between Blue Blood and the Blue Moon palette, the Meant to Be, I don't know. I've just been really into blues lately. But this is supposed to be more on like a grungy side. So we'll see what happens. So the first color I'm going to go into, and I'm going to do it as a transition shade, is going to be, I think because I'm doing blue, I'm going to go into Entity, which is like this yellow color. Now from some of the videos that I saw, this turned out to be more on like a brownie mustard side. So we'll see what it looks like on me. Okay, it looks just like a taupe, like a brown, which is perfectly fine for what I'm going for today. So, no big deal. But anytime I do a transition color, I just use a big fluffy brush with loosely packed bristles. This happens to be BH Cosmetics. I have a ton of their brushes. Especially hit them up when they're having their sale and everything's like 60% off. Take advantage of that. Their brush sets are really, 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 really good. I've used some of their palettes. Their formula is not bad at all. It's not one of my favorites, and I have to be careful because some of their stuff irritates my eye. But I have super sensitive skin. Like, I can't wear Juvia's Place. Whatever ingredients Juvia's Place uses just doesn't react well with my skin. And that's nothing against that brand or anything. That's just my sensitive ass skin. So, it's not surprising. So I don't use a whole lot of BH Cosmetics eyeshadows. I've seen some beautiful, amazing looks with it. They were super pigmented and they blended really well. You kind of had to pack some of them on, but I mean, I feel like that's the same with no matter what brand you're using. Not every single shade is going to be a phenomenal shade. So if you're looking for a really good cheap brand, BH Cosmetics is a good one. ColourPop is a really good one. ColourPop's probably one of my favorite cheaper brands. So I'm just packing this on as a transition shade. If you notice, I'm going above where my crease is. And I do that because I have hooded eyes. Otherwise, when I opened my eyes, you wouldn't be able to see any of it. So I'm just kind of blending that out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It is more on the brown, on me, it's more on the brown side than it is on the yellow. And I mean, it looks like a mustardy taupe in here, so, but it is what it is. So, like I always do, as I go down on my lid, I go down in the size of the brush. So the next brush that I'm going to use is still going to be a fluffy brush, but it's going to be a smaller shaped, if that makes any sense. And that one doesn't look any smaller, but I promise you it is. This is another BH Cosmetics brush. So for this color, it's going to be this blue color because I want to put this all over my lid. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to start on the outer corner to pack that color on, and then I'm going to pull it into my crease. So I'm packing it on the outer corner, and then I'm pulling it into my crease. And I will blend this up just a little bit into that transition shade. And again, that's because I have hooded eyes, and if I don't do that, then you won't see this color at all. My hooded eyes is also why, if you are here because you're trying to learn a wing, I'm not your girl. I've been practicing for about 12 months and I still can't do a damn wing. I'm practicing though. I'm trying. One day I'll get it. It's just hard because I'm almost 40. My eyelids are very, very wrinkled. I'm pulling this down into my lower lash line too. I'm almost 40. My eyelids are very wrinkled, and then when I close one eye, it'll shake. So when I try to do a wing and my eyeballs wrinkly and shaky, I get bumpity. But I haven't given up. I've got stamps. I've got the liquid flick ones in all brands. I've got Vamp stamp. I've tried tape. I have not given up. I just don't need that kind of rejection in my life right now. So I haven't been trying to do it. But I will. One day. And if y'all are still here on my journey, maybe you'll be a part of that success story. If you're still with me and this is your first time watching, if you can't tell, I am not a makeup artist in any way, shape, or form. I just enjoy makeup, and this is just the way that I do mine because of the shape of my eye and just what I think is most flattering on me. If it makes you feel good, do it. I don't feel like there's any wrong or right way to do makeup. I feel like if you feel good in it and you like the way it looks, then that's your makeup. I see so many people, talk about how after a certain age, you're not supposed to wear glitter and all that. I'll be 90 and wearing glitter because I'm a glitter girl. So I feel like makeup is an art. It's also extremely therapeutic. It helps me with all my stress, which there's a lot of. And it makes me feel good about myself. It makes me happy. So that is why this channel started. I'm going to go back in with that first shade, Entity. And I'm just going to fluff this bottom lash line out just a little bit. And then I'm also going to go back over the top. And that's just to make sure everything is blended out the way that I want it. I did add additional product, but not a whole lot. You do need to be careful when you do this though, because if you can see, the blue is coming off on my brush. But I kind of like that too, because I feel like that helps it blend and create like a gradient almost. So I don't mind that, but you just got to be mindful that it is in fact on there. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this like flat, and it's very stiff, but it's rounded, and it's a Morphe. And I'm going to take my glitter primer, glitter glue, however you want to say that, and I'm just going to dab a little tiny bit. It only takes a little bit. I was trying out lipsticks. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the brush And if you can hear my kid screaming in the background, he's playing video games. And it sounds like he's getting a little heated. I may have to go cut those off. So I'm just going to place this glitter glue everywhere that I want this shimmer shade to really stick and pop. You don't have to do this. You can spray your brush either before or after you've dipped into the shade. But I just really think glitter glue like this really makes the shimmers pop and stand out. And so I'm a huge fan of glitter glue. And this stuff is not that expensive. I think it's like $6 or $7. But this little tiny tube will last me a really long time because it literally only takes a tiny dab. Okay. So I've got that placed. You can't really see it in person. You can see it a little bit better, but you can feel it. You can feel where it's at because now my lid's kind of sticky. And I'm just going to take this same brush and I'm going to go into this blue shimmer down here called Mystic. And I'm so excited because from the swatches, this thing... All right, we ready? Oh, yes, ma'am. Having the glitter glue too also helps the same way that spraying your brush does with catching like any of the fallout. Man, this is a pretty, pretty blue. I hope y'all can see it. I've got to figure out a better setup so that y'all aren't staring at the back of my hand the whole time. And I'm just kind of placing this where I want it. Making sure I got the whole lid covered. I am dabbing into my crease a little bit, just because it's going to transfer anyways. Oh my gosh, this blue is so pretty. If this green that's in here is anything like this blue, I'm so excited. I will try to link down below where to get this palette if you are enjoying these types of looks, these grungy looks. But I will tell you this, shipping did take a hot minute to get to me. They were running a sale on like their singles and stuff the other day, and I can't remember if this palette was sold out or not. But if it is, it will restock because this is not like a limited edition one or anything. But look how amazing that blue is. Okay, I'm going to take this same brush, and I'm not going to dip in anymore. And I'm just going to run this across this first inner part of my line, on my bottom lash line. And I do have fallout. Even with the glitter glue, I can't tell if it's the dark blue shade that I used or if it's this shimmer. Pretty, 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 pretty. Oh, that's good. Okay, so for the fallout, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these big fluffy brushes, and I think this is a BH Cosmetics too. It is. It's part of their gym series or whatever. I'm going to dab just a little bit. It's my Anna Sue container. Just a little bit of powder and just gently brush it. And that helps to not smear it, but get it off my face. I don't I don't set with powder like up underneath and all that because my lids are so dry as it is. I'm not trying to make them any drier. So that little bit of powder is not gonna do anything. And then I'm just taking that same brush. I didn't add any more product to it. And I'm just going to fluff that out a little bit. Just so it looks smoother and more blended. Now, some of the blue from where I got the inner corner did transfer right here, and I'm just going to take this Q-tip and get it. I could have left it there, but it... I'm going to go back into that small brush, into that blue, that dark blue. And I'm just going to make sure that this outer corner is as deep as I want it to be. And then I'll pull it in my crease just a little bit, just to make sure that all that's blended. So start with the outer corner, make sure it's as deep as I want it. Any excess on the brush, I just pull through the crease. And I just feel like this helps make it not have such a line in it. It also helps kind of blend it. I don't know on camera if it's showing how much of a difference it makes, but it makes a really big difference. This shade is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so normally I will pause this and put on my other stuff and then come back, but I'm going to stay on. That was so quick and easy that I'm just kind of like, well, now what? So I did get another thing because I spend entirely too much on makeup. This is the Kiko Milano blush. If I'm being 100%, I bought it just because it was cute. And because I don't own that many blushes. So that is super adorable. It looks like this is kind of shiny. This might be way too dark for me. Oh! It's supposed to be maybe when I mix them together. I don't know. We're about to find out. What shade is this one? Hang on. This is the 01 Earthen Heart. Magnetic Attractions 2-in-1 blush. I don't know. This still has some on it from the Sugarpill yesterday, but we're just gonna add on top of it because okay. So hang on. Let me put this on and then let me try to describe it. Okay, so it's very pigmented, but because it has that shimmer side to it too, this side to it too, it almost creates like a dewy, like a wet blush. I don't know. It's cute. It's just it's kind of dark for me. It's a little dark. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little dark. But it's cute. I mean, it's definitely cute. And it's pigmented. She pigmented. She really pigmented. So but the product is good. We'll see how long it lasts throughout the day. And I'll update you when I do my next video, whenever the hell that'll be. Okay, so I need to finish up my eyeballs. So for my waterline, I am going to use, and don't laugh at me, but I love these things. Okay, so this is the biggest, most ridiculous thing ever. It is the Laura Geller New York Line and Define. So on one side, it is an eyeliner, like this. Okay, and the other side is a like a wing felt marker thing. This thing's too fat for me. But I adore these liners. I have 3. I have a silver, an emerald, and then this one, which is not navy, but these are gorgeous. They're super pigmented and they glide on great. They almost have it's not a matte. Like, it's a dark liner, but it has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it does catch the light a little bit. But I love these liners. Now, my favorite in the whole world are the ColourPop. I've just not found anything as good as the ColourPop, except maybe that last NYX that I used. But, I mean, and they do last. They don't water off as you're wearing them. I'm just taking that dark again, and I didn't get quite up on my lash line like I wanted to. Plus my eyeballs water. So that whole corner might disappear here in a little bit. Okay, so for lashes, and this is ridiculous, but this is the way I do it. So the first thing I do is the Lights Camera Lashes from Tarte. And I use it on my bottom lash line. And I feel like this creates the volume that I like. But it doesn't necessarily create the length that I like. So I will use this first to get the volume that I'm after. And then I will use another one on top of it. And I'll show you what that is in just a second. To get the length. Now, I do not like this for my top lashes. And it's because it can be kind of sticky, meaning that with my bigger lashes on the top, sometimes it gets sticky and they stick together. And I don't like that. I don't know why it only does it on my top lashes. It could just be my top lashes. I don't know, but I've tried it a couple times and I don't like it for my top lashes. Okay. So then I'll go in with my Bad Gal Bang. This is another one. I don't like it by itself because it tends to, if you put too many layers, it'll clump it up. But if you put it over where you've already used some, it will make them grow. I don't know about grow, but it will give you some length. I don't know if you can tell the difference. In person, you can tell a major difference. So I love this mascara, just not by itself. I know that's ridiculous, but that's just what works for me. So for my top lashes, and I've been stuck on this, it's Wicked Lash Mascara by Merle Norman. I don't know why, but this stuff is so good. It doesn't flake off, so I don't get like pieces in my eye throughout the day. It's super pigmented. It adds great volume and thickness. Little bit of length. I could probably get more if I did multiple layers, but I actually go back over this with my Bad Gal Bang, just like I do the bottom, and help create that length. But this separates and adds fullness. Great. And if you notice, I got it on my nose right there, and I got it right there. I'm letting that dry, and I'll show you why. If I go after it, after I first touch it, it's going to smear and create a mess. If I let it sit there and dry, I can go back and scratch it with either my fingernail or a dry wand like this, and I can just scrape it right back off. I also like the wand on the Bad Gal Bang because of the way that it's shaped. It's not as thick as the other ones. So I can really get in here to these little tiny lashes at the front of my eye and not worry about accidentally touching my eyeball. I do have to be careful though that I don't blink a whole lot while it's drying. Otherwise it will transfer to right there. So now I'm going to take one of these. Pretty sure this is BH Cosmetics 2. And I didn't let that dry enough. But I'm just going to scratch it. Scratch it. I didn't let that dry enough, but it is what it is. But all gone. Well, a little bit. It might be the brown off of here because of where I did my eyebrows. Okay, so if you notice, I didn't put anything on my inner corner. Now, I will say that is the only downside to this palette is that there is not an inner corner highlight shade in this palette. There's just not. But that's okay. I'm going to use, don't come for me. She may have some hairy-ass lipsticks, but she makes a really good highlighter. I love this thing. I've had it for, I think I got it when it first launched. I've had it for a super long time. It's barely even used, even though I've used it a million times. But this is a good highlight palette. So she might make hairy lipsticks, but she can make a good highlight. Then again, I heard a highlight is really hard to screw up. But I've had some crappy highlighters too. So, I don't know. So this one's really good. And then my Kaleidos, those are some of my favorite highlighters. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab one of those. This is Skywalker, and it's actually a blue, but it looks white, but it comes off just a little bit of blue shimmer. I'm going to show you. But it's a glittery, can you see it? It's more on a glittery highlight. But these highlights are really good. I recommend them. I have 4 or 5 of them in all honesty. See? And I'm just going to use that same brush that I used to apply. And all I'm doing is blending that highlight corner just a little bit. And I'm going to do the same down here at the bottom. I'm just trying to blend the two together a little bit. See? Now I'm going to take this same and I'm going to use one of these, which I'm pretty sure is another BH Cosmetics. And I'm just going to lightly tap into that blue. And then I'm going to dust that off. And then tap into the Jaclyn Hill. And I'm going to use that for up here. And that way I get a little bit of the more goldish highlighter. And then just a little bit of that blue glitter in there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on my face. And this was a Kat Von D that I got in one of their going out of business or rebranding mystery box, whatever. I think out of everything that I got in it, the only thing that I really enjoyed was this brush. Her lipsticks were decent. It just, I don't know. Everybody talks about the Alchemy highlighter palette. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan. That's just my unpopular opinion. Don't come for me. But, so I use the Jaclyn Hill. And then I'm just going to dab, 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 dab. Just to get a little bit of the blue sparkle. And as you can tell, it's not blue. Like, it's not super, super blue. It shows up more blue concentrated on that inner corner than it does when I use it as like a cheek highlight. Boop. Okay. So now we're going to dab, dab, dab just to make sure that's in the skin good. My eyeballs are watering already. Okay, so for lips, my favorite lip liner, if I can get it out of this cup, is a Wet n Wild, an LA Girl Ultimate, I like Wet n Wild too, Ultimate Intense Stay Auto Liner and Keep It Spicy. And I love this because it is pretty close to my natural shade. Now, granted, I've got foundation and concealer and stuff all over my lips right now, but my natural lip color is pretty freaking dark. So I'm just going to line my lips. And I mainly line my lips to keep my liquid lipstick from bleeding out. If you have liner on your lips and you put on a liquid lipstick, it will help it from bleeding out. Especially for ones, I have highlighter everywhere. Especially for ones that are super dark. So this is can you see it? It's a Black Moon in the color Myth. And it's actually this one right here. I was gonna do this one, but this one is a liquid eyeshadow, not a liquid lip. And then I plan to put this one on top of this one, which honestly, this one's... I'm going to do it anyways. Hang on. Okay, so this is called Murmaider. Is this the right one? Hang on. It is. Okay, so this is actually a liquid lip. And it is this one right here. And it's called Murmaider. It's by Black Moon. And I just discovered this brand. So it's like a teal. It might not go with this. We're going to find out. If you notice, I'm using the doe foot, and I'm actually lining my lip again, and then I'll just fill in. And this is almost too green. But that's okay, because my original plan anyways was to go over it with Sugarpills. And this is called Shiver. And it's like an icy blue, purpley color, which is closer to what I've got on my lid. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the center. And it just made that teal go blue. And that is closer to my eye color. And I'm just using the doe foot to help with that line to make sure that none of that lip liner, the brown, or I guess it was burgundy. Make sure none of that is showing. I do need butthole lip. Anytime you wear a dark color, you're going to get butthole lip. There's nothing you can do about it. Especially as you wear it throughout the day. Okay, so those two colors blended beautifully. So again, it was Murmaider, which was like a teal glittery color by Black Moon, blurry, and then Shiver by Sugarpill. So that is the look. So one day when I feel up to it, I will actually apply lashes and show you how I do that. But this is all it today, and it was the Arcana palette. So far, I love it. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm super excited. I'm going to see how it wears throughout the day just to make sure that there's not, like some eyeshadows I've had, they look really good when you first apply them, but then as you wear them throughout the day, they start to fade. So we'll see what happens with this. But so far, I get a thumbs up. So far, I love it. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, hit the bell, tell your friends. Thank you for watching. Love yourselves, love each other, and have a great rest of your day.